Good afternoon and welcome to Pinhole Quilting. I'm Liz Holpin and my husband Pete is the other side of the camera as usual. I hope you can hear us because it's torrential rain outside and it's a dramatic difference from the blue skies of yesterday, which is a bit of a shame because we've got the grandchildren with us this morning, so we haven't been able to do very much. Anyway, we're here at Facebook Live and we thought we'd focus today on Pro Stitcher. I did say that I was going to do a sunflower quilt, but that's actually off the frame and behind me. And instead I'm going to do some Pro Stitcher Lite on this quilt that I've got on the frame, which is one I started ages ago. And I've been doing it in sections on Pro Stitcher Lite and posting them on our YouTube channel. So this is just kind of like a bit of this section of the quilt that I'm going to focus on. We're also going to look at Pro Stitcher Premium, and I'd like to go through some of the differences between Pro Stitcher Lite and Pro Stitcher Premium, which machines take which models, because it can be, now we've got quite a few different options, it can be a little bit of a confusing area, and we've noticed that when people are calling us, they're asking very similar questions. So I'm hoping that we can put some of those questions out there, so that answers out there, even questions that you might have had, answers that we might have, so that we can actually help you in making some informed decisions about which system might be right for you. So here we've got a Moxie with Pro Stitcher Lite, and it fits on either the loft frame or the Littlefoot frame. We have it on a cut down loft frame here that we take to the shows. It's actually normally 8 foot, or you can extend it to 10 foot. The loft frame is really straightforward to put together. In fact, there's an app called Built that enables you to build both the Moxie and the loft frame, Littlefoot frame, I say both, all of these things, Moxie, loft frame, Littlefoot frame, and the Simply 16, all on the Built app now, which is it's just great because it's almost like a CAD system where you can sort of do 3D and play back the instructions. Some people prefer a written manual, and you can download one of those from the internet as well. So let's talk a little bit about Moxie. It's a 15-inch throat space, and it gives us about 10 inches of decent quilting space. Got very thick wadding on here, so you do have to take that into account when you're quilting, that you don't want to end up trying to be optimistic about what you did at the beginning, that you might be able to do the same at the end. It's not always possible. So I've got a quilt on here that's actually a charity quilt from the local quilt group, and Pauline, who's currently over in either New Zealand or Australia, hello if you're watching this, good to have you here. Hopefully you're having a lovely holiday with your family, and it's one of the quilts that Pauline gave me so that I could do some sessions like this on Facebook Live. So I've already started quilting it. I've basted the whole thing together and put in some securing stitches so that I have it on just 2 rails. So what that means is I can go between the front and the top and the bottom of the quilt really easily and focus on particular elements of the design. And then I can go back and do particular blocks. So I've got some interesting blocks here, and I've stabilized it with some long tacking stitches, which on the Moxie you can either do in manual mode and make them really long, or you can set it to 4 stitches per inch, so 1/4 of an inch. So it's got, as I say, very thick wadding. I've got some white thread on here, so I'm going to do some designs of white thread on the blue and just show you how we set this up. Now Pro Stitcher Lite comes with, I think it's about 250 designs. I should have my crib sheet here. I'll have to do this from memory because I've left it over there. Maybe Pete will get it for me. So it on that machine. It's on my crib sheet is on. You can't hear me because it's so loud, the rain. It's the crib sheet on the back of the Amara. Oh no, I've got it here. Pete, I got them. It's not even pantomime season. It was behind me. He's shaking his head in disbelief. Okay, so designs and stuff like that. Pro Stitcher Lite versus Pro Stitcher Premium. 250 designs on Pro Stitcher Lite, 800 plus on Pro Stitcher Premium. And you can add to those. So, you know, you can go on websites like Quiltable and whatever ones, Wasatch Quilting and, oh, what's the really popular one? Anyway, the various other websites, and you can download designs. The ones that stitch out on this machine is HQV, HQF, and QLI. So it's a really fantastic system. I've got to be honest, the Pro Stitcher Lite has exceeded my expectations. I've been using it just as much as I've been doing premium, and I can see there are some differences in some of the functionality, but there are workarounds. So if you know what ProStitcher Premium does, like I do, I kind of think, okay, so how have I got to do this? Oh, fine, I can still do it, but it's a little different. So there aren't many things that you're missing out on, but it's just, in some places it might be on premium, a push of a button. You might have to do a few different steps to get the same thing on ProStitcher Lite. It includes the tablet. Now, it's a completely locked down, network disabled Windows tablet that's been specified by Handy Quilter for these machines. And as a result, you don't have any of the issues that some other systems have, saying, oh, you can just buy any tablet. And then you find that Windows messes the whole thing up. And I have had people say, you know, I'm really interested in ProStitcher because the one I've got, it uses my Windows tablet, but I can't use it because every time I try and use it, it might have been a month or two, Windows doesn't update and it won't run the software to run the computer system for my computer-guided quilting. Whereas this, you only put the USB stick in, it can't get disabled by some Windows thing that says you can't attach USB until you've updated and all those kind of things that we normally get with Windows. And as a result, it's just a really robust system, which can be updated, a lifetime software updates whilst the tablet can run those updates. In other words, technology sometimes moves on and it might be 5 or 6 years down the road and there's new functionality and you need a new tablet. But we have had people who've got the original 2010, 2011 tablets with the ProStitcher standard, the original, and they're still running it because it works functionally absolutely fine and the tablet's still going. So that's another difference as well. Can everybody hear? Because it's really loud, this rain.
I'm 2 meters away and I can barely hear you.
I know. But have we got, is anybody online? Did you want to say hello to anybody? He's going to go back to his tablet. He's going to go back to his tablet. I won't be able to hear him now. It's that bad, honestly. It's so loud, isn't it?
It's so loud, yes. I just want to get my laptop. So, Mari from Darwin was first online again.
Excellent.
She's keenest to go to bed, I suspect.
Yes! It's got to be late, Mari.
So, hello, Georgie.
Georgie! Hello!
Joan in Stockport.
Yes. Who's only recently had her machine, right? Those guys had their fairly recently. Yeah, good.
Stumpy Quilter.
Yay, Jackie! Love what you've been doing. I hope the ladies last week had a good session with you. Anne Pryor. Hello, Anne.
Sally Mottram, where it's 35 degrees Celsius in her bothy.
No.
So it seems to be sunny in Wales and Scotland.
Wow, and it's so beautiful up there when it's sunny. Gosh, stunning.
Good, people can hear me today, that's great. We've got Leslie Gregg.
Yeah, we swapped out his microphone, it wasn't working.
Linda,
Leslie,
hi, Linda.
Hi Leslie.
Margaret Greta is looking forward to a course next week.
Greta. Yes, thanks for your email. I haven't responded yet. What did you ask about? Tuesday night? I don't know, it's worth asking on Facebook. Is anybody else coming? Is anybody else coming on the foundation workshop on Tuesday?
Tuesday night.
Oh yeah, because Greta's coming for the Wednesday RFF, Ruders, Feathers and Fills. If anybody's staying over on the Tuesday night and would like to go for dinner with Greta, she's lovely. She's absolutely lovely. And probably staying, I imagine you're staying at the Boot, aren't you? You normally stay at the Boot. So if you are, then just post on here and just say, yeah, I'd like to meet up. And you guys can hook up. So just email us, we'll put you in touch. We can't hand out email addresses, it's a real pain, isn't it? So simulation, that's another thing that's fantastic on the Handy Quilter system. So you get the ability to take what is on your tablet and put it on your desktop or your laptop and play around with designs and then bring it along to the machine when you're ready, plug in the USB stick and just select which element of the design that you want to do. Simulation is a fantastic training tool as well. It's what I use when I do the Zoom sessions with people when they first get their machine. And we normally do a couple of sessions, sometimes 3, but normally just 2.5 hours with a break in the middle. and we cover all the things that we need to that are kind of like the more usability ways of doing things. So it's not just sort of, there is this function. It's actually integrating that in a way that is how you would use it in practice. So for doing blocks, for doing edge to edge, for doing record, and mark, and all those kind of things. So lots and lots of stuff that we can go through on Zoom as a result of having Sim. So I can do like a Zoom session with my Sim. Then what else? I'm just going to look through my list here. Warranty, not on the tablet because it's a third-party product, which is 2 years, but everything else is 5 years, 5-year warranty. So that gives you considerable peace of mind when it comes to investing in a system like this. It also means that if you want to upgrade, that somebody else can purchase it and still have a number of years retained on their warranty. There are a few different things, the kind of things that you might be interested in knowing that there are differences are things like when you do the stop and start and you have like a pull-up on Pro Stitcher Premium, it automatically moves away for you. Arduous thing, you have to move this machine. So that's one of the main differences on the pull-up. Also the little tie-offs, you can set however many tie-offs you want on Pro Stitcher Premium. On this it's fixed at 5 or off. Tie-off tack, etc. slightly different. Yeah, there's no tie-off tack, there's only tie-off micro. Wrap and various other things have a little bit more adjustment within Pro Stitcher Premium. But like I say, there are ways around it. So, which I have found. It is a lot of fun to play with. It doesn't include Pro Stitcher Designer if you buy Pro Stitcher Lite. Oh, I can hear myself again. But Pro Stitcher Premium does include Designer. Now, the kind of training that we do takes you up to a certain level, but I've been discussing with Linda Jackson from Capricorn Quilting, and we're going to be running some training on the Pro Stitcher later in the year, so watch out for the dates when we announce those and the content, and I'm sure that will be a really popular in-person Pro Stitcher training. It's something that a lot of people have been asking for a while, so we've got that. Linda and I have been discussing it, pretty excited about having that here, because I just hope that we can take people to the next level, and it's an in-person workshop, so I think that's going to make a big difference for a lot of people. Right, so should we do a bit of stitching? Have you got any questions, Pete?
No, I've just been trying to a few things here. No, nothing much.
Okay.
So Elizabeth Dunkley is going to be here on Tuesday night as well, and is happy to meet up with Greta.
Great. Yeah, you guys will get on. That's nice. Not that I would say that you wouldn't get on, of course. That wouldn't be reasonable. No, but that's really good. It's nice to, you know, there's a social element of the long arm quilting that we really love when we do some of these longer sessions, you know, and it's nice if people are here for the 2 days, and there are a number of people who are here for the 2 days. Right, so what am I going to do in here? Do you want to, you might have to man the camera, Pete.
Okay.
Or person the camera. I'm completely making this up, by the way, because I actually haven't worked out what I'm going to do here. But I've done chevrons at the top in these diamonds. Yeah, diamonds? No, flying geese. And I'm going to do a similar thing here. So I've brought up the chevron triangle onto my screen. So when you load a design, you can literally go through the library and have a look and see which designs look exciting.
Question from Val Brooks as to whether the workshop with Linda might include something on Pro Stitcher Designer.
You're going to love this, Val. So 2 days on Pro Stitcher, and that applies. It will apply to both Premium and Lite, and then 2 days on Pro Stitcher Designer. So all of you who've got Designer, this is the opportunity, and we're looking at it's the dates are in October. Okay, so don't book any holiday. Second week in October, that's the dates we've got penciled in at the moment. Just discussed it with Linda, so it's hot off the press, but we'll give you more details in due course. Okay. Yeah, Pro Stitcher Designer's fab. Absolutely fab. And it's how Linda, you know, does hers. Does a lot of her designs that again go on to Quiltable. So what I've got on here, I've got a start and end the design. This is a workspace, and I can do various things with this design. in the Modify tab, I can change how the design stitches out. I can flip it like so, and that immediately is in the right sort of direction.
Orientation.
Yeah, the right orientation. Thank you, Pete. After I've done something like that, it's really important just to baseline it. And baseline is like saying everything I do from now on is on that flipped design, not on the original design. If you don't do baseline, I'm just going to say it doesn't like it. And if you're not sure about what a particular thing is, there's actually a context-sensitive help, which you press by pressing the blue icon up here, and then press whatever you like on the screen, and it will tell you more about that feature. So you don't have to go into the manual. You can actually do a lot of things on screen. Particularly when you're learning, that's a really nice feature. We also do a printed manual in the UK because I like a printed manual. And it's as simple as that. And I don't like not having a printed manual that I can refer to.
Yeah, that's appreciated by our customers as well. So we provide a copy with all ProStitcher Premium and all ProStitcher designers.
Yeah.
ProStitcher Lite, sorry.
Yeah. So on the difference between ProStitcher Premium and ProStitcher Lite, and this is the reason why I've picked this design, is you don't have a triangle skew on this. So what we need to do is actually put this into the right size or just sort of line it up with the bottom of here. There are ways of repositioning, so I can reposition so that where my crosshairs are on the screen, and if I just press this, my crosshairs represent the needle. So that is exactly where I need it to be. And if I measure from that point to the far side, like so, I can see on the screen it's 5.72. So I can resize, but keep it, I might not lock it actually. No, I will lock it to begin with, 5.72. 5.72, and enter. And now that's scaled the whole thing. I'm going to reposition it again. So reposition, so baseline, modify, and reposition to that start point. Now I'm just going to check and see where it's going to stitch. So yeah, it's going to do what I did on the other chevrons, which is basically it just sort of fills this area with 3 lines.
So the crosshairs show you that the needle position is near the top of the chevron?
Yeah, well that's the top of the chevron.
Okay, so the top of it there corresponds.
It won't correspond to the top. I want it to stitch within it.
Just inside.
Yeah.
Just inside. So
yeah, and the bottom too, you see. So that will go to there, and then the right-hand side will come to here. So happy with that, baseline it again.
So that's about 1/4 of an inch in from the seam.
Now, I did one of these chevrons before, and I can't remember which one it was, but there is a way of checking in New Start End whether it does like a repeat of one of these lines. So I can literally go through point to point by doing this jump thing here and just see what the path is. And do you see how it went back over those first 2 lines twice? So I don't really want it to do that. I just want it to do 1, 2, 3. So if I get it to do that one first, and then that one, and then that one, and stop, I will be happy with that. So what I can do is I can actually crop away elements of a design to get it to what I want it to be. All right, so if we go back to the start, and I just move this up to 0, it's going to start here, okay, and I want it just to sort of start on that one. So let's go down 1, 2, 3. I want it to start there. So I'm going to go into Modify. Let me see if it's here. ProStitcher. Where is it? Modify, Crop, Start, End. So it looks the same. And if I baseline, I'm now going to go into ProStitcher and let's just see what those jumps are. So it should just go over each of those bottom 2 lines once. 1, 2, 3, 4, and finish. So I'm not going to get a double line of stitching, which is exactly what I wanted. So what I've just shown you is how, although you don't have triangle skew on ProStitcher Lite, you would do it a little bit differently on ProStitcher Premium. You would do 3 points and get it to skew into that triangle. Here, we can do it in our own way, as long as it's a triangular design, and by using either the height or the width, you can get it to fit. So let's just save that. I certainly don't want to waste time by not having that saved. So I will save that in, maybe I've got users, Pro Stitcher. Actually, let me just go back up because I can just create a new directory here. Here we go, test. Chevron triangle, single, whoops, single line. The pop-up keyboard enables you to key in a particular description that's going to help you when you want to refer to it again. Right, always do your test stitching off the quilt. So I've done a little test over on the right-hand side on some fabric that just made sure that my tension was okay. So I did a quick tension test, very happy with that. It's got glide on the top and deco bob in the bobbin. Set the number of stitches that you want to stitch it to. But one of the big differences on Pro Stitcher Lite, I say rapidly before I forget to do this, is that you have to set the frame space. Now, frame space is the area that we can actually stitch at any one time. So that means sort of front to back, side to side for the quilt size we've got. And if we don't set it up, Pro Stitcher Lite doesn't work. It's simple as that. It does not work. It does not compute because it's a safety thing to stop you banging into the bar or going off the end of the frame and potentially damaging the carriage. And it's a really good thing. So I normally set it up so it's in the wadding, off in the wadding, and you go to frame space, press 2 corner, similar sort of instruction to what we do when we do area, and then again off here. So I've gone bigger than I need. There's a little button that comes up as a result, and what we've got is a black box which indicates the frame space, and it shows relative to the frame space where my design is going to stitch. All right, so now it will let me stitch. If I hadn't done that, it would have gone, you are not within the frame space, or the frame space isn't set up, or something like that. Pro Stitcher Lite and Pro Stitcher Premium, I normally start a couple of inches away from the start position so that I feel confident it's going to move into position, and it just helps me make sure that the Pro Stitch is going in the right direction. I can press stop, pause, whatever, if necessary. Now, let's just take measure off, don't need that anymore. The run button, just here, is what I need to press next, and I'm just going to check what I've defined as the settings. So we've got, I don't want to tie off. I'll show you an alternative way of doing the tie off. And I've got 56% speed. It's going to do the pull up, and it's going to do 11 stitches per inch. And that's it. We're ready to go. So I'm going to go proceed. It's going to move into place and do the pull up. I'm going to move it away, and then I'm going to take it back myself and just do a couple of tie-offs. There we go. And I'm going to press resume.
So Graham, you're moving your frame in your machine tomorrow. Good luck with that. Hopefully you'll find my video useful.
Great, so I'll just do a couple of tile stitches and then pull the thread down. It automatically unlocks the motors when it finishes the design, so I can do some of my custom tile stitches. Oh, that's good. Okay. Custom tile stitches, and then I can just bring the bottom thread up to create a loop, and there we go. All right, I'm ready to do the next one. So I just move my machine head to the start of the next one. Is your microphone on? Okay. So what we want to do, modify. I'm going to reposition that design to where my crosshairs are. I'm just going to move it a little bit bigger, and I'm going to check that, because this has all been stitched, obviously. I don't know that it's going to exactly be the same. That looks pretty good. And I was thinking, actually, the other thing I should have done was put on a glide foot, because it's pretty puffy wadding, and I certainly wouldn't want to be doing any stitching on and off the quilt as a result. So Now I've moved it, I do have to do baseline again so that it knows that it's got to be doing it here. Run, proceed. Now I've just noticed it's slightly below the blue, so I want to reposition it again. I'm not happy with that, so just go modify, reposition, start point. It just moves it slightly. I'm going to baseline that, and then I'm going to go to Pro Stitcher and run. So if you're not happy, don't continue if you're not happy. If you need to reposition it, do it before it starts stitching. I didn't do my tie off, did I? Okay. And just pull that up. Excuse me. There we go. And so we would continue. There is a way of obviously stitching these things one after another, but this particular design, I didn't want to do that on that. And I would now look at the block, and I would continue doing the design that I've got that's on a previous video of doing this, which is a border and corners and fitting that in. Why don't we just move and just show you that? And if you're interested in how I did the stitching on this particular quilt, then have a look at our YouTube channel and just check out how the Pro Stitcher Lite videos. I think there's 4 of them now. Yeah. So we've got, with this one, I did like radiating lines and a central design. So I did a multi-point and did a central design here, and then did radiating lines. This is a custom border with a corner, and you probably can't see, but we can have a look at the back. This is leaves and put into a border.
Yeah, it's difficult to see the stitching.
Yeah, well, we can look at the back. Do you want to see the back? Yeah, I've got to take these ends off, because what it does when it stitches across is it actually leaves these long ends. Obviously, I'm cutting the top ones, so I just need to pull a few of those through. This is the custom border, and where's the other one?
That's your chevrons.
Yeah, here's the leaves. This is upside down, I know, but this is one where I've done a custom border, and I'll pick that design up and go straight down, but it shows how you can fit a nice leaf into a border like that on a corner. And so it stitches it that way, along, and down the other side. So check that out. I think I've done that on one of the videos. If I haven't, I've recorded it, I just haven't posted it yet, so I'll be doing that in due course. So I hope that's been a useful overview to Pro Stitcher Lite. I've sort of talked about a few of the things where there's differences and focused on those, because I think that's where, you know, with the triangle thing, it is nice to have the triangle skew as a feature on Pro Stitcher Premium. But like I've shown you, there are ways around it. And you can buy whatever designs you want. And if you're not into doing Pro Stitcher Designer, then you're not buying software that you're not going to use. So it really enables you to buy Moxie or Simply 16. And with the Moxie, you're getting Moxie with Pro Stitcher Lite for, I'm going to say under 11?
Yes, just under 11,000.
Just under 11,000.
Fully computerized system.
Yep, fully computerized system with an 8-foot frame.
8-foot full rail frame.
Yeah, yeah, with 4-rail frame, 5-year warranty, and all completely CE certified. So that means that if you are using it in either a commercial environment or you're renting it out to people, you know, if anybody ever needs to see that documentation from, which we get from Handy Quilter, because everything they produce has to meet CE certifications or the new UK standards that will be coming in maybe next year. But at the moment, we're still meeting the CE standards. Then it's an important thing to have. And if you don't have a wheelie bin on the back and the CE mark on the back, then it's not certified, and insurance can be a problem if you don't have that. I was talking to somebody yesterday who's was interested in a pro-stitcher system, and in a commercial environment, and so it's important to thank you. It's important to have those things if you're going to be either having employees using it, or other people using it, or even customers walking past it. So that's the good thing about Handy Quilter. It's got huge reach, and it was always intent on having CE certification. Okay, enough on the technicalities. Should we go and have a look at Pro Stitcher Premium? Yeah. Just have a little drink, because I'm doing a lot of talking. I think I'm talking quite quickly today. Am I talking okay?
Yes, you're not coughing.
I'm not coughing.
Sorry about the coughing fit, everyone.
Yeah.
So it's Pro Stitcher Premium on Amara 20.
Yes, Amara 20. Now you can get Pro Stitcher Premium. So I'm going to go through now some of the things that are about which machines work with which frames. So you might want to take notes. He's brought my notes over. Let's just talk about the smaller machines that I've just come from. The Moxie with Pro Stitcher Lite can also work with the Simply 16, but it has to be on a particular frame. Either a loft frame or a little foot frame that has been converted. And the reason is the track is a different track, and it's a four-wheel carriage. Okay, so Lite for the light machines, so we're talking Moxie, Simply 16. The Pro Stitcher Premium, always designed as like a system that's going to work on the bigger machines. So that's Amara 20, the new Amara 24, and the Infinity. In the past, that would have been the Forte and the Fusion. So we've got these 20, 24, and 26-inch throat space machines, but it also works with the Simply 16, but it has to be on either a Studio 2 frame or a little foot frame. I will be giving you a test after this, and I'm doing this without notes, just so you know. There are differences in the carriages, essentially, and the track that the carriage runs on. On the Pro Stitcher Premium system, you have an 8-wheel carriage on a, what's the name of the track called? I was doing really well up to that point. The track system. Precision Glide. Precision Glide is an angled track, and that enables us to have really smooth movement of the carriage on the machine, with the machine. As a result, it's able to do really beautiful free motion quilting and all of that thing, and go into Pro Stitcher mode. The four-wheel carriage is very good, but it's slightly, if you don't get as much precision. It is called Precision Glide for a reason. So if you are primarily a free motion quilter and you think you will never ever do computerize, that is something that you need to know at the outset, because you probably, you'll want to go, if you can, to a Precision Glide system. If that is like, you want to do award-winning quilts and all that kind of thing. But the Moxie is an excellent starting point. And we've had a lot of people who've kind of moved then up the range as they wish to get that really sort of high level of quilting. The thing about the Precision Glide and the fact that it works with the computerized premium system is it's designed to work on these much faster machines, bigger motors, more powerful motors, able to move around essentially what is a heavier machine. And it's that sort of element of it. You get a carriage with what we call the tray inserted within it as part of the premium package. You don't get that on the Moxie or the Simply 16. You reuse your existing carriage. So that's something to bear in mind. We have had some customers who will move to a free motion carriage to do a lot of free motion work because you've got two carriages. So with premium, you've got faster machines, stronger motors, and a carriage, as well as a bigger screen. And on the newer models, like the Amara, different to the older models like the Avanti, everything is integrated in the head. On the Simply 16, it is not. okay, and on the Avanti it is not. So those older models that you might want Pro Stitcher for, whilst they can take Pro Stitcher Premium, the carriage the leads between the carriage and the head of the machine will be on the external part of the machine. So you'll see those leads. Whereas with the Amara 20 and 24 and the Infinity, it's all integrated, just as it is on the Moxie. It's a newer design machine. Obviously, these things, some of these machines were designed before Pro Stitcher became the thing it is today, which is a hugely functional, amazing piece of software. All right, so if I take you through, and perhaps just do a demo on one of those things that we just did, perhaps the chevron, then let's just compare and contrast how we might do the same design on Pro Stitcher Premium.
So there's a bit of tablets with Pro Stitcher Premium.
Yep.
There are more designs as standard inbuilt, but on both of these systems you can, of course, purchase additional designs, including those that Linda has recently developed and that are available at quilting.com.
Yeah. Okay, so if I wanted to do a triangle, I'm going to baseline this. This is my chevron. I haven't edited it so that this would be a double line of stitching on this one. If I define an area, I can do multi-point, and multi-point. I'm not sure that's going to work very well. I'm just going to clear that because that was a bit rubbish. Let me just put the grid on. So I'll show you something else as well. So we can do an area. On the Amara, there's a star and a diamond, which are on these handlebars. So star is on the left, diamond's on the right. If I want to do a two-corner, I don't have to press the screen. This Amara 20, the Amara 24 and the Infinity all have these extra buttons on the handlebars that enable you just to press that and move across. So to there. Oh, press the wrong button. That's not a good idea. And to there. Let me just cut that. My fat finger syndrome there. I have a damaged thumb that goes at an angle. It's obviously proved a bit of a problem there. So modify, I'm going to skew, and this time because I've got 3 points, I can press triangle skew and see what it does. And look, it's instantly fitted it in. So on the Pro Stitcher Lite, I only had skew and border skew available, so I knew there was no point in trying to do that. It doesn't do triangles, not like that. And that's all I have to do, and now I can just stitch that out instead. Yep, I don't need to do that. You know, you've seen it before. So anything else that you want to add, Pete, that I haven't covered on the Pro Stitcher differences? I'm just going to look to my notes as well.
No, I mean, there are some mechanical differences that I think we need to talk about, but not today. I think that's a subject of a separate video that I think we can do as a technical video and post it on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there is a Handy Quilter Long Arms and Pro Stitcher comparison guide, and on this sheet it actually tells you which of the Pro Stitchers work with different frame systems, so you can have a look on there as well. But I think sometimes it's it's better to see the system and for us to kind of talk through it. So I hope that's been useful to you. Anything else that I should demo at this point? Anybody got any questions? Or
just a question in from Val Brooks. I don't think I have triangle skew, but I do have Pro Stitcher Premium. Do I need an update?
So if you don't know what version you've got, yeah, you might well need an update. Go to I and go to About, and the latest version is 2107.0537. So it's called 5.37 Val, and that is the latest version. On it as well, if you don't have triangle skew, and it is a more recent function, you probably also don't have quilting space. The same thing that we had on Pro Stitcher Lite. It's not essential to define quilting space on Pro Stitcher Premium. They haven't stopped it. So in other words, if you don't define it, it will still stitch. But there is, it makes it a lot easier. You're going to love this file if you haven't got this. let me just, this is a good one. I'll explain why quilting space is so useful as well. So say you've got an Amara and you know that you can stitch, let's say you can stitch, because you've not got too thick a wadding, you can stitch 20 inches, not an Amara, 16 inches, you've got an Amara 16 inches at a time, but you want to be able to do 2 rows of design. So you don't want them any bigger than 8 inches high. So what you can do, if I do File, Clear All, you can define your quilting space, and then you can look. So I'm going to go to Area, Quilting Space, and over here on the right, I press 2 corner. It doesn't make a ping like it does if you do 2 corner ordinarily. So I go to the furthest I can stitch and off the wadding normally. I'm not going to move it that far. And then if you go out, you'll see the black box. Okay, that's my frame space. Maybe zoom in a bit more. That frame space then is going to help me when I set up my repeat, because I will set it up, and when I move on as well, I will be able to check that my design is sitting within that space. So say I go to, I think I can do Audrey, yeah. So if we just look at Audrey, and I go to the repeat tab and just, I have to define my area, that would help. So let's define an area. I could stitch this out if necessary. So do 2 corner, and I press the star key and key in an amount for the height of, say, 60 inches. All right, so I've got my area. I'm going to take the grid off now. It's a bit distracting. I've got my area and I've got my frame space. I can now fill Audrey into the area. That's the best it can do at the moment. I can increase the repeats in the horizontal and the vertical. And you see how, if it were a little bit smaller, I could do 3 repeats, couldn't I? So let's just stretch it. Will it just about fit? If I increase the number of repeats, I can definitely do 3. I'm going to stretch it in the horizontal as well. I mean, I probably wouldn't do it like that. I'd probably wrap it. I don't know whether it would work on a wrap. Yeah, that looks okay. So do you see that you can actually do 1, 2, 3 repeats of Audrey without having to move the whole thing on? Okay, after I've done that, I would also want to do, I'm going to do edges too. Get rid of some of those extra stitches. So let's just zoom in here. So 1, 2, 3 rows within my black, without having to move the handlebars at all. Then when I do drag and drop and move it on, so I would do drag and drop, say, from here. There we go. Let's do a drag, drag, and then I'm going to be moving the whole thing up. Basically, I'll be moving the fabric on, and then I can see when I can stitch the next 3 rows is going to be there. I press drop. So I've got 1, 2, 3 more rows that I can stitch on the next pass without having to look at anything else, move the machine around and check I don't hit a bar. So it's a really nice function, that, and you've got that on Pro Stitcher Lite as well. You need to upgrade, Val. Okay, if anybody does need help with upgrading, and hey, maybe that's a session for a separate Zoom session with people, let us know if that's something that you would find valuable. I think Linda's been doing some of those sessions as well. So
yeah, I think it's worth just talking about that update a little bit more, Liz, because with anybody with Pro Stitcher, the Pro Stitcher system gets free lifetime software updates. Now, a huge proportion of the cost that goes into Pro Stitcher is in the software design and development. But any future developments that Handy Quilter do, you will be able to update your system for free for as long as your tablet lives.
That's right.
And I was, in fact, contacted recently by somebody who had an 8-year-old Pro Stitcher and tablet and thought she needed to buy a new Pro Stitcher Premium system from us to benefit from some of the new features. And I said, no, all you have to do is update. So we lost out on an £11,000 sale, but that's not what we're about. We are about telling the customer how it is.
Absolutely.
All you have to do is update the software,
yeah.
send her the instructions to update the software, and she was delighted.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, that's the thing. I mean, ProStitcher.com is the website that you need to go to. You can download the software for free. If you've got ProStitcher, you can then copy across your designs files. But you can play with that software. You don't have to own ProStitcher. Handy Quilter want to encourage people to use the ProStitcher software. I mean, we've got the folks at Manchester Metropolitan University, haven't we, who are using ProStitcher in all kinds of amazing ways, as well as over at Yale College in Wrexham. So it's a fantastic system, and actually Yale College and Wrexham have had it since I think 2011 or 2012. So still going strong, which is fantastic.
I think we've heard some rumours as well that there's another really nice update coming along in the not too distant future for ProStitcher. We have heard that. We don't know anything more.
No.
At this stage. No. So don't ask.
No, we don't know. We don't. Don't ask us. We don't know. Right. Well, I hope I know I haven't done it that wasn't like a tutorial, everybody do this, everybody do that. I'm just showing you, and if you want to play it back, it'll be on YouTube. Probably, it's not going to be until late next week probably, because we've got classes, and I'm pretty flat out getting ready for all those things. So I'll try and do it if I can, but I have to sync the audio these days, because I've found, as people have pointed out, it's not synced. So I download it from Facebook and then find that it's 8 seconds out or something. So I have to take it into some video editing software, which takes me quite a while because they're big old files. Okay, that's it. That was my little session on ProStitcher, ProStitcher Premium, ProStitcher Lite.
So postscript for Val, she does have the right software level, but because she'd never actually defined a triangle area, she hadn't seen that the greyed out area would in fact become live as soon as it did. Yeah. There you go, Val. You've discovered something today. This is what it's about, right? And having it live, you were able to ask the question. Fantastic. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Right, we won't hold you up anymore. It's 4 o'clock. We were a bit late today. I'm sorry, it took a while just to set up the software and get a few things done. And because I swapped the quilt I was going to do, I did swap that quilt over with a very short amount of time to go, because I thought it would be better as a demo. So apologies that we were a little late today. That's it. Pete, anything else before we sign off? Okay, well, everybody have a fantastic week. A very happy quilting to you all. And we'll see you. We will see everybody next week. We'll just about fit in another session. Yeah, we will. Yeah, we'll see you next week. Fridays, 3 p.m. Happy quilting.